and that's okay. Scroll past the filter, skip the noise, find your calm and stay poised. You're not late, you're right on cue. Every fit skill looks good on you. So light it up, get glow through the doubt. Even discount dreams can still work out. We rise, rewind, and do it again. Off-brand hearts still find their zen. Make it worth the wilderness. Take your time. Even chaos can fall in line. Make it worth your wilderness. Make it yours. We're all just healing in synth-wave chords.
Sometimes the internet can feel like one of the giant kiosks at a mall or the outlet mall. They're all flashy, a little difficult to read. Tonight we're breaking down how to tell what's legit, what's laughable, and what's just trying to steal your credit card. Welcome back to Bargain Brand Wellness, because here, self-care shouldn't require subscription. However, not everything's FDA approved. We're here to help make sure the algorithm is doing the most for your wellness. So grab your tinfoil hat and get comfy. Welcome to wellness. Welcome back, my wellness warriors, my self-care connoisseurs, my off-brand VIPs. We've got another fun episode for you tonight. Happy weekend. How you doing over there, Joe Twig, over there on TikTok land? Happy to have y'all. Happy to be here. One of our few Friday streams we've been able to do lately. But we're over here having fun. Winding down, prepping for the holidays. Had a good episode on Wednesday talking about dealing with stress for the holidays. And I'll tell you what, after that episode, I happen to feel a little bit better about the holidays. I'm ready and rearing. Doing all the work, doing all the Christmas wrapping by myself. No help whatsoever. I don't think she's paying attention to me. Did you hear me? She didn't hear me. I said I'm over here doing all the Christmas wrapping by myself. We are having a great time. Thanks for sharing the live over there, Joe. Appreciate the love, appreciate the support. If you're new here, we're live every Monday and Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're also live on our After Dark episodes on either Fridays or Saturdays, same time, same place. You can find us on YouTube at Bargain Brand Wellness or on TikTok at Off Brand Tim. Come by, check it out. Tell a friend, tell a family, tell a coworker, tell your worst enemy. You never know, you might make a friend. I'm just saying, we keep saying it. I think you can make a new friend. You gotta figure out why that person is your enemy. Super excited, as you can see here on screen. We are partnered with Dude Wipes, our first official sponsor. Appreciate the love, appreciate the support. Yeah, what a perfect sponsor for us too. I got my lights strobing red and white for Fort Hill. Cool. I didn't even think about that. Probably should have, huh? Before we get in tonight, couple little things. We have our Bargain Brand merch here on the back wall. I won't mention any prices. Yeah, last time when I mentioned how much we're selling the shirts for, promoting, TikTok said they restricted my visibility, so we won't go there. But we got our flagship Make It Worth Your Wellness t-shirt you can purchase, as well as our holiday shirt, Merry Fitmas, because wellness doesn't take a holiday, so we'll be, that'll be on sale throughout the holidays. Make sure you check that out. What am I wearing? What do you mean? This is what I always wear. This is what I wore to work. Listen, It's our After Dark episode. This is my tinfoil hat. Right? We got to keep all the bad waves out. I made this hat a while ago. I've worn it a couple times on here and a couple of my little shorter TikTok videos. Yeah, so you can check that out. Bargain Brand Wellness Christmas album is also on all streaming platforms. We got 8 songs on there, 6 originals, 2 rebrands / covers. Album turned out really well. Very, very pleased with it. Go check it out. Give it a listen. Share it with your friends. Put them in that holly jolly mood. Also, if you're considering being a guest on the show, we're a small channel, but we're trying to grow. And if you like this kind of content and like to come on the show and talk with us, listen, let me know. We have a guest application you can fill out. You can find it over there on the Patreon, where you can become a wellness warrior, or you can find it in the YouTube description. Fill it out. Let me know. The application is really just more of a way for me to kind of get your contact information and set up a date and time with you. We primarily do guest appearance on our After Dark episodes. But if you tell me Monday or Wednesday is the only day you're available, we will make it work. We're wrapping up the new year, and we're really going to be trying to get more guests secured. At least I'd love to have a guest every week. I don't know if that's reality, but I'd like to have at least a guest every other week or 2 guests a month. So if you're interested in being on the show, I get some people might be a little camera shy, might not want to come on here. I try my best to keep it fun, keep it light. We're just having a conversation, right? It's pretty simple. And honestly, I'm only really asking for about 30 to 45 minutes of your time. And you'd be surprised once we're having a conversation, you'd be surprised how fast that time can go. So if you are interested, let me know. We'll see what we can do to get you on there. All right. Last announcement before we move into the show, get into some games, some fun activities. Let's announce the returning Wellness Warriors of the day. I decided, because we're not getting a whole lot of growth, right? And there's been times where, I might have someone on YouTube, but I don't have anybody on TikTok, or I have people on TikTok, but I don't have anybody on YouTube. We're not going to just be giving one YouTube and one TikTok Wellness Warrior of the Day badge away. I'm not going to give it to every single person on here, but it is my channel, so it is my discretion on who I give these badges to. And all it really means is, you get your name thrown in the wellness jar an additional time. So moving forward, I will just be choosing Wellness Warriors based off of not just, where you scored as far as, what TikTok or YouTube tells you are, but also who engaged, or maybe if it's people who get on here but don't stay on very long. So I'm going to be giving away as many badges as I see fit. Sometimes it might be more, sometimes it might be less. So the returning Wellness Warriors, and I didn't do images. I'll probably do that moving forward, but primarily we had Joe Twig getting another badge, getting his first badge of the month. Jake Twig popped in here for a little bit, getting his first badge of the month. Ashley Boer got another badge, and he didn't stay on long, but you know what? He pops in every once in a while. He gives me some likes, shares the lives, helped me came up with the name Timmy Too Legit. Tyler Broadwater also got a Wellness Warrior of the badge. Everybody give yourselves and give those people a round of applause. Woo! Yeah, you're the best. As my Wellness Warrior crew. So yeah, I did give away 4. We won't do that every stream, but heck, depending on what we got going, there's sometimes I might give away more than 4 just because I feel like it. We're giving away the love. So yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and start us off right. Let's head on over, get a spin on the wheel of wellness, and see what we're getting into. It sounds like a participation trophy now. Except for all it is just makes sense, right? Valid point. But all it really is just giving you an additional chance to throw your name. I want to fill this bowl up. Now, this is not a very big bowl. I'm just telling you. There's a lot of names in here. Now, I could have made the font a little bit bigger. But I want to get some more names in here because I'm also figuring we're going to be banking merch here in the very beginning of the year. We're going to be working on that. And what I'd like to do is, let's say with Wordle, right? We said with Wordle, if we get it in 3, we make a song. Well, I added the song to the Wheel of Wellness. So what if we've already made a song, but we get the Wordle in 3? You know what we're going to do? We're going to draw from the Wellness Bowl and give away free merch, right? Or if, what was one of the other games we were doing? There was another one I was thinking of if we get it in a certain time period. Oh, the Rubik's Cube. Like if I can get it in less than 2 minutes or at 2 minutes, we'll draw from the Wellness Jar. Should make a mandatory 1,000 likes on TikTok. That's not a bad idea. And that honestly, 1,000 likes on TikTok isn't difficult. I'd have to see. I'll have to check. That's actually not a bad idea, Joe. I'll have to see if it tells me how many times you liked. After I pull up, I'd have to pull up the analytics. Here's my thing. You're at 2K almost right now. Yeah. And that I can tell. But imagine if there's 3 or 4 in here clicking the like. I don't know if it tells me how many. I'll have to look at it. And that's something that's going to take me a whole lot of digging to find. But it's a valid point. I mean, you're right. I don't want to necessarily just give it away to too many people. But I'll check it out. That's not a bad idea. So, all right. Let's, without further ado, let's go ahead and spin the Wheel of Wellness. We'll do this and then we'll get into our talk about what you can trust online. Hey, what better way to start off with than a Wordle? That's usually how we used to start our episodes, wasn't it? So let's head on over to Wordle and get into that. Bum, 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 bum. All right, remember with the Wordle, I'm going to draw a letter. I want you all to give me a 5-letter word, preferably something that has 2 vowels. Trying to use as many consonants as possible. Gotta keep it new. Let's see if we can get a letter we haven't drawn in a while or ever. I don't know if we've ever gotten an L. Let's see, I'm feeling the L. Yeah, I got it. Baby. No, we got a G. We've had G before, though. We always get the same letters. And I did forget, there is a Q in there. God forbid we ever get a Q. We're limited on the amount of 5-letter Q words. It's Z and X that I didn't put in there. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I will put these back on when we're having fun, but I cannot see the playing the games with these glasses on. All right, let me get a 5-letter word beginning with the letter G. I like great. That's a good one, Joe. Let's go with great. Ooh, we got a G. We got a G and an A. All right. I mean, that G could go anywhere. I don't feel like it's going to be second, although it could be. It could be something like agony. That's not a bad word. Do we want to roll that one? That's the first thing that came to my mind. I don't think that's G's there, and I feel like agony is probably the only word that exists where that G might be there. But I'm feeling it. We were great, but now we've got some agony that we didn't get it on the first one. We've never got it on the first try. We've got it on the second one before. I don't remember what that word was. Let's try agony. Now that was a pull. So A something O-N-G, among. Ooh, along. It could be along. Is that how you spell among? Yeah. Those are the only 2 words it could be, among or along. What do we think, guys? We get this in 3. I don't have a merch yet to give away, but you thinking among? Yeah, I'm thinking among. I'm thinking Among Us. Among in 3. Hey, we got Among in 3 because that's what we do over here on Bargain Brand Wellness. Me and my wellness warriors. That's what we do over here. We got it in 3, so we're just going to give ourselves a round of applause. In the new year, we'll be giving away free merch. We'll draw. I don't have anything to give away yet. Or else I'd draw. But it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. I'm also going to be reaching out to some local or online businesses to see if they'd be interested in donating items as a sponsor. Because that's the kind of stuff, like even gift cards can be given away. So, man, we're getting good at this, aren't we? All right. So let's go ahead and hop over to our video. So here's let me get where we need to be. I got too much stuff going up here. All right, so here's where what we're looking at. We're talking about what can you believe online. All right, and so we're gonna watch this video in 5 parts. It's like a 15-minute video. We're not gonna watch the whole thing. We'll watch it in parts, you know, and kind of come back to it. But if you ever want to watch the full video, you can check out the YouTube description. This is from Star Talk, Neil deGrasse Tyson. I'm a huge Neil deGrasse Tyson fan. In fact, he was one of the first episodes of, I knew him from other things, but he was on one of the first episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. And he's kind of the reason I fell in love with Joe Rogan's show. Him and Jordan Peterson, a couple other guys. But Neil deGrasse Tyson, if you don't know who he is, most notable for the guy who, it wasn't his decision, but he's the guy who announced that Pluto was no longer a planet. So that's what he's kind of most notable for. Astrophysicist, has a couple books out, which I'm sad to say I have not read. I've always wanted to buy them. I just have not got them. So, yeah. So anyway, so let's check out Neil's video here.
I've been thinking a lot lately as an educator, and especially as a scientist, when you search online for answers and knowledge, wisdom and insight, what do you trust? How do you trust it? What is involved to decide whether something is true or not true? And it's not easy at all. I know a lot about a lot of stuff, but when I look things up that I don't know, it's like, you know, this doesn't seem to feel right. There's something odd about it. Let me keep checking. But let me first off the top say, so many people are now using some variant of AI to answer their questions that they might have.
All right, so basically kind of Neil starts off with talking in here about what to trust, right? He's talking about how truth can take work, right? Even experts have to go back and double check themselves, triple check, quadruple check themselves. So it's a key thing to kind of remember, is trying to figure out what's the truth. Are you doing any extra research? Or are you someone who hears something one time and you're going and telling everyone else, hey, did you hear that? I know a lot of people, or I won't say I know a lot of people. I know a few people like that they'll tell you something and I'm like, that's a very bold statement to make. Do you have anything to back it up? Well, no, I heard. And then when you question it, you tend to find out that thing you heard wasn't so much true. And I know for me, I sometimes hate to be the one to burst a person's bubble, but I just don't go around spreading misinformation. We've had enough of that over the last several years. The other part of what he's kind of talking about here in the beginning is we all kind of tend to favor information that feels right rather than information that is right. So in that case, self-checking is essential. It's called confirmation bias. It's something where if you already kind of have a core belief and then you find information that you can cherry pick that kind of proves your point a little bit more, that's called confirmation bias, right? The thing with the internet is you could go out there and find 100 different things to back up whatever your claim is. But I could also go out on the internet and find 100 other things to back up my opposite claim if I really wanted to. So that's why it's important. Just research, find the truth out there. Very important. And kind of that was kind of the final point of what he's talking about here is reliable information usually comes from places that show evidence, context. That's important. Context and how they arrived at said conclusions. So kind of a self-reflection question to kind of get you thinking about this. When was the last time you trusted something because it felt true rather than because you verified it? Maybe you're not one of those people, but if you are, you might want to kind of do a little bit of a self-check, right? Are you gullible, naive, or maybe it just came from someone who you thought you could someone who you usually trust, but they might have been a little bit off base here. All right, so just think about that. All right, we'll come back to the video here in a little bit, but let's get back to the wheel wellness. We're over here having fun in a fun Friday night. I'll be getting up early to take a ride down the road to Annapolis for the football state championship game. Should be a good game. It's gonna be a little chilly. Gonna be chilly, but I'm hoping for a good game. Man, I get tired of blowouts. I'm sorry. I'm just one of those people. I can only do blowouts for so long. Anyway. All right, let's spin the wheel wellness again and see what we got. We'll give him a couple spins before we head back over to the video. We'll see you later, Neil. And hey, we're gonna start off with Rubik's Mania again. I like it. We went all those shows. I've actually added it a while ago, and we hadn't got it. Now we're gonna have it 2 streams in a row. The only bad thing about this overhead camera is that my microphone's all the way back here. So I hope y'all can still hear me as I'm trying to talk, because I'm trying to kind of keep it, you know, conversational as we're going. Yep, you got the hand cam. All right, so I'm just mixing this up a little bit. I did order a timer too. We'll have a digital timer right here that I'll start. You can still hear me loud and clear. Okay, cool. I'll have a digital timer here that will start and get it going to see if we can kind of get it under 2 minutes. I might eventually. I haven't really timed myself recently. All right, but let's go ahead and get into this. The Rubik's Cube is actually a lot of fun. It's something that I enjoy doing. It really works for my photographic memory, or eidetic memory, whatever you want to call it. That I kind of remember the patterns pretty well. It's just a lot of fun for me. I like to go real fast. I kind of like to give it a little spin every once in a while. Make it look, why would you spin it? You're going to throw yourself off. As long as I can keep it coordinated and keep the top where I want it, which is the yellow, it's pretty easy to kind of keep yourself on track. But I do enjoy this a lot. Just like that, we got the bottom done. And we're having a good time on this Friday night. Oh, yeah. We do like this. Make sure we're still in camera. There we go. Yellow. Fix that one. We're making moves. We're having fun. We're having a good old time. Get over there. Get over here. All right. Let's make a move. Oh no, we got across. I was going too fast. I thought I messed it up. All right. Okay, here we go. We're almost done. We're over halfway done, believe it or not. That's how quick these things go. Got our 2 tops done. Now we got to do is make a couple more moves, and we're almost there. Believe it or not. We should be done here in about 30 seconds. Maybe less. Count 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And there we go. There is the Rubik's Cube Mania completion. Should have one of y'all time me. I made a slight mistake because my hand slipped. I had chicken wings for dinner. But there's your Rubik's Cube completion. All right, let's go ahead and get another spin on the wheel of this. I am a little crazy. I am a little bit. I'd rather not talk about it. Up to 3.3K likes over there on TikTok. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. You know I say it every time about sharing the content, but I'm not joking when I say that. I'm not talking about just you might make a friend. I'm talking about we might make a friend. See if we can kind of pull more people in here. We go live on YouTube and TikTok. Dual streaming is becoming more popular with a lot of content creators. I would have liked to have done other ones, but it's going to really put a load on my computer. I already was able to get the load. It doesn't put so much of a load on OBS for YouTube. It still puts a high load on TikTok. I think that's just my computer. I don't think I can get it down anymore. So streaming to like 3 or 4 platforms, I don't think there's anybody out there who even does that. So it's really just not an option. But I felt like YouTube is very popular for streaming. TikTok's pretty popular for streaming. It's just trying to find that brand. So like I said, tell a friend, tell a family member, tell a coworker, Tell that worst enemy. You never know. We might make a friend over here. Let's get another spin on the wheel of wellness. All right, we're getting a Wellness Warrior reset. This is our mindfulness moment where we sit back and we relax for a second. So if you don't mind, go ahead and take a moment, kind of close your eyes or soften your gaze. Take a deep breath. Drop your shoulders, unclench your jaw, and listen. Take a deep breath with me. In our world where every scroll comes with a claim, a cure, or a countdown timer, give yourself permission to pause. Let your attention settle back into your body. Because this moment right here, this one right here, this is the one thing the internet can't algorithm its way into. Sorry, I got a little tongue tied with that one. Inhale slow, hold, and release. As you breathe, notice how different it feels when nothing is trying to sell you anything. No pop-ups, no pressure, no promise of instant change. Just you, your breath, and the quiet reminder that real wellness doesn't need flashing graphics to get your attention. Take another deep breath. Hold. Release. Let any tension in your shoulders soften. Let your jaw unclench. Let your mind unclutter itself from the noise of the do this, buy that, and trust me. You don't need to be convinced. You just need space to listen to yourself. One more deep breath. In, hold, and release. Remember this feeling, this clarity, this calm. When the online world gets loud, you can always return here. Back to the version of you that sees through the noise and chooses what actually serves your peace. Welcome back, Wellness Warrior. Bum, 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 bum. And that was our Wellness Warrior reset. I do like those. I don't know if you all like those, but I do like those little mindfulness moments. All right, let's do one more spin, and then we'll head back over and talk a little bit more to Neil deGrasse Tyson. Or pretend like he's like a guest here on the show. You feel inspired? I recently started, I don't know if I was telling you, Joe, I recently started taking creatine again. We all know what creatine does for your muscles, but I started taking it for, I heard it has a lot of cognitive benefits as well. So I started taking that again. I want to see what it does. All right, we got silly little games. Let's hop on over there and see what their game is. We said before that I like their games. Sometimes it's a little too hard. So, and I'm going to be reaching out to them. I should probably do it now, not necessarily right this second, but now rather than later. I want to try to get them on the show because they're a small channel. We're a small channel. Let's work together. It's two ladies who live out in California and do this silly little games. So show them some support if they want to come on and show us some support. So let's get into silly little games. Like I said before, the only difficult thing with this one is sometimes we either get it really quickly or we don't get it at all. I can't remember what the one we did on Wednesday was, but that was the perfect difficulty. It took us a couple seconds, but it was good. It was good. So let's get this one. Okay. 5 fans. Fans? I know it's not that. I know it can't be that simple. Sounds like your audience, but I'm bump. That was a good one, Joe. It's more like 10. 10, just not on here consistently. I will say a lot of people haven't been on here as much. Danny and them haven't been getting on. Okay, so it's not 5 fans. It's not fans. Let's get a hint here. Noun. This is a noun. Okay, I was worried it was going to be another idiom. I mean, fan. was gonna say fanned, but that's a verb. This is a noun. Swirl. Wind. I don't. So this is what, like I was saying, this is what's sometimes a little difficult. Like I have no idea what this one could be. There's some, it's like, it feels like there's sometimes where it's either really easy or near impossible. I don't even really have another. I mean, that was the only guess I had. It was to be as literal as possible. 5 fans. Is it one word? It says noun. I don't know. Yeah, it's I mean, it could be more than one word, but it said noun, so I assume it's one word. We're only going to wait about 5 minutes. We'll see if we have, so we're about halfway through. We'll see if we can get any other guesses in here. I did try fans. Yeah, I did fans. I did 5 fans. I just did fan. Two rows of fans. I mean, what else could that, I'm even trying to think like outside of the box. Like, what are we seeing here? 5 fans. Like, could it be like an audience, like fans of like a band, like 5, like Spice Girls, like a boy band? I mean, that's the only other fan I can think of, like thinking outside the box is fan. You know, a fan of a show, a fan of music. We'll give it about another minute and a half. Listen, if y'all have a guess, go ahead and throw it in chat. I will gladly take it because I'm out of guesses. I don't have anything else. That's why I said I'm not. I like it. Yeah, no guesses. I mean, I guess I already kind of came up with everything we had. So the only thing I don't really like about this game is it's either really easy or really, really difficult. The one we did on Wednesday, I don't remember what it was, but that was the perfect one. But that's, in all honesty, it's been the only one that was like that. I don't really like ones that are too easy. I like ones that take us a couple minutes to get there, but I'd rather have like 5 or 10 of them that you have to get through in like a minute. That like, and you could even have like layers of difficulty, easy, medium, and hard. Something like that. So that's why I'm curious. I'm sticking with them until hopefully their other games are released, and then we can kind of go from there. Yeah. I don't know. This is I don't know. This is a tough one. You don't know either. Yeah. All right. It's 3, 2, 1. It will give us the answer. Yeah. I click here on this magnifying glass. Reveal the puzzle. Only fans. I mean, it's clever, but how was I going to get OnlyFans out of that? Listen, I don't want. Here's the thing: we're a small channel. They're a small channel. They're doing theirs is not. They don't do podcast. I think they've been a guest on other people's podcasts. So I'm trying not to be too much of a hater, right? We are a small channel. They're a small game. We're all just trying to make it in this content creation world. So I'm not trying to be too much of a hater, but there's been a couple puzzles. I'm like, now, how are you supposed to get that? Like, you would almost really need a hint. And I think that's the thing is they do offer a hint, but it's just one, and it's not a very good hint, a noun. I don't consider that a noun. I would rather, I don't know what other kind of hint you could give, like social. You could have said social media. If you had said social media and then I saw fans, I think we probably would have got there. Mom, I don't know if you've ever heard of OnlyFans. I'm not on there, but I've heard about it. I feel like me, Joey, or anybody else my age would probably, we would have gotten OnlyFans if you had told me social media. So, anyway, we'll try again next time. Let's head back over to Neil and see how he's doing. All right, let me jump down to the next chapter.
That they might have. When I search things where I fully know the answer, AI gets it right 85% of the time. 15% of the time, it's flat out wrong or didn't fully understand what's going on. Of course, large language models they don't think really. They're just assembling words that have appeared next to other words that various people have written and posted on the internet. And so there's no guarantee that what people have posted is correct. What I encourage people to do is don't trust what the large language model AI is giving you. If it's worth its weight in salt, it'll give links to where it got that information. Just like the old days,
and a lot of times
when you did a search, you'd have a list of websites. And then you would click on the websites and assemble your own answer, which is what AI is doing for you now. So I don't rely on AI, just based on the errors I know it makes when I already know the answer to something.
And I will say that's the thing with AI. It does make errors. I use it all the time. I've told you all that I use it all the time. I use it for school. I use it for work. I use it for this to help me generate ideas. And it's really great at that, but you have to interact with it. If you're someone who's just going to say, hey, do this for me and just copy and paste that, you're going to get it wrong. Right? AI gets things right 85% of the time because it's pulling from online resources. But that means 15% of the time it's wrong. I can tell you it was about 1.5 years ago, I had to take a statistics class for college. And I did not take statistics in high school, but I'm pretty good at math. And within my work, I would be checking my work. I would use AI to check my work. And it kept giving me the wrong answer. And I would try to argue with it. This is not the right answer. And it kept arguing with me that it was. It's the only time it's ever argued with me. So it can still be wrong. Large language models also assemble patterns from human writing. They don't verify truth. And I mainly mess with ChatGPT. That's been my primary. There's that Grok. There's Gemini through Google. There's another one. Claude is another popular one. I can't remember who that's through. There's all kinds of AI models out there. You really you've probably seen or heard about videos where you have to learn how to generate the best prompt. That is absolutely correct. If you do not do a good enough prompt, it's going to give you a pile of crap, to be honest. Now, I have mine saved to its memory the way I like things in a certain format. It's pretty good about that, but I still have to remind it sometimes of what I want. And then kind of just like Neil mentioned, just like classic search engines, you have to click through the links and then confirm the information. Now, ChatGPT is pretty good. If I'm asking it something, especially for school, and it's not pulling from my weekly resources that I already gave it, it'll provide a link when it makes some sort of claim that I can click on and go check, which I often do. I will go through it and read what it gave me. And if something doesn't sound right, I'll ask it to explain it to me, or I'll question it. And there's been numerous times that it got it wrong. In fact, just today, I was working on my homework, and because my last week in class, and I gave it a PDF for one chapter that I was reading and kind of generated some responses for that. And then I gave it a separate chapter from the same textbook and said, all right, now give me a breakdown of that material. That's how I use it. And so if I have 30 pages to read and I don't have time to read all, I'll have it give me a short summary of it. Well, it started summarizing the previous PDF, and I knew that because as I'm reading, it's not talking about anything that's in that chapter. Now, I hadn't read the chapter, but I knew what the title of it was. Turns out when I questioned it, yeah, it was still pulling from the previous attachment I had gave it. I had to tell it again. So you have to verify with AI. I will tell you that 100%. But it is a great tool. A lot of what I've done on here, I've used it for work. It's helped me really a whole heck of a lot through school. It's a great tool. You have to use it as a tool. So awesome. Thanks, Neil. Appreciate the love. We'll talk to you again here in a little bit. But we're going to head back over to the Wheel of Wellness and give her another spin. Mom says she has not heard of OnlyFans. It's a social, I'll just kind of give you short. It's a social media platform where people can post pictures of themselves. And honestly, it's turned into, no surprise, it's turned into almost pornography over there. It's mostly, in fact, I've actually heard there is actual porn on it. Once again, I'm not on it. It really started with girls like selling pictures of their feet, right? Pictures of them naked or whatnot. You can buy, I don't know how it works, but I guess you can pay for a subscription over there, or you can pay for it. But I've recently heard there's like straight up porn over on OnlyFans. So yeah, I wouldn't go check it out just because I don't know exactly what it's going to look like the second you get over there. All right, let's get another spin on the Wheel of Wellness. Bam, 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 bam. All right, this is one of my favorite ones. That's debatable. The segment where Nova and I debate a fun topic. Fun topic. Bam, 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 bam. We're going to go into live mode. Yeah. Bring Nova back in. Hey there, Nova. How you doing on this fantastic Friday?
Hey there, Tim. I'm doing great and ready to roll. It's a fantastic Friday indeed. Perfect day to tackle some good conversation and maybe sprinkle in a bit of fun.
It definitely is. It definitely is. We're back for another segment of That's Debatable. The segment where you and I make arguments against one another towards a certain topic. Today's topic is the internet actually making us more informed or just more confused? I'm prepared to do either. I'm prepared to take either side on this. So I'll let you know. I'll be a gentleman. I'll let you pick which side you want.
Well, aren't you the gracious debater? All right, I'll bite. I'll take the side that the internet is making us more informed, and you can play devil's advocate that it's just making us more confused. Let's throw down some arguments and see where we land.
All right. Well, since you're doing the 4, I'll let you go first.
Absolutely. Let's kick it off. So on the more informed side, first up, the internet is basically a giant free library that never closes. I mean, you can learn literally anything from quantum physics to how to fix your own sink, all without leaving your couch. It's like the world's knowledge buffet and everyone gets a plate. And secondly, the sheer variety of perspectives out there means you can fact check like a pro. If one source feels off, there are a dozen others to cross-reference, so you're not stuck with just one viewpoint. And lastly, it's not just about finding info, it's about learning how to filter it. The internet actually teaches us to become savvier consumers of information, which is a pretty solid skill to have in a world full of noise. So there you go. That's my opening salvo. Let's hear why you think it might just be making us more confused.
All right, so I'm just going to give 1 point, but I'm going to focus on the part that you said about, how it's an infinite library of information. And I absolutely agree with that. And I see where you're coming from with the positive side of that, but I also see that is information overload. As we mentioned in Neil deGrasse Tyson's video, is you have to be able to go in and check it. You could make a claim and have 100 sources to back it up. And unless it's a very polarizing topic, I could probably go in and find 100 other sources backing my claim. And so then it leaves you the question, well, wait a minute, who's right? So I do think we do have somewhat of an information overload. As much as I love it, I think it's making us more confused.
Absolutely fair play, Tim. And hey, that's exactly what makes it a juicy debate. You're spot on that all that infinite information can turn into a tidal wave of who do I trust now confusion. It's like a never-ending buffet where every dish is labeled, "I'm totally the truth," and you're just trying not to get indigestion. So yeah, I'm loving it. Let's keep this back and forth rolling and see where we land.
All right, go ahead and give us your second point of why you think it is making us more informed.
Absolutely. So for my second point, I'd say the internet makes us more informed because it democratizes expertise. You're not just stuck with one textbook or one local expert anymore. You've got real scientists, historians, and people from all walks of life sharing their knowledge directly. That means you can get a richer, more diverse education than you'd ever get from a single source. So sure, it's a lot of info, but it's also a lot of empowerment. And hey, maybe that's worth a little bit of sifting through the noise.
Okay. All right. So I'll buy that, right? You know, you definitely kind of gives you a little bit more information, right? Makes it more confirmable, right? But what I've also noticed is the algorithm tends to reward extremes, not always accuracy, especially on social media, right? As an example, I posted Stranger Things is a very, season 5 is the most popular show out right now. And so I posted a video about one of the different fan theories about how it could possibly end. I'm not even serious. I don't even think that's how it's going to end. I said that wouldn't it be funny if the show ended, the very last scene is just the boys were playing Dungeons and Dragons the whole time. And so none of the stuff actually happened. That video itself got so much engagement that it was definitely it's not my best performing video, but it was one of my best performing video. And so that's where I'm at is I wasn't even really making a claim. I was just throwing out a theory, and that got engagement. The algorithm rewarded that one because that's what people engage with. So once again, that could be a very polarizing topic, especially if I had made like a more, political, right, or very polarizing claim, talking about whether it be abortion or gun rights or whatever it might be. So that's my take on it.
Totally valid point, and I think you nailed it. The algorithm does have a bit of a crush on the extreme and the sensational. It's like the internet saying, gimme drama, gimme fin theories, gimme hot takes. And it doesn't always care if they're actually, true. So yeah, that can definitely lead to more confusion. It's like the internet's handing out candy and we're all trying not to get a sugar rush. But hey, that's what makes this a fun debate, right? Let's keep coming.
All right, thanks Nova. We'll talk again here in a little bit. Appreciate the love, appreciate the support. Jake got his sweater. Is it worth the $58? It was not $58. It was $41 and some change with shipping and handling. Jake, I want a picture. I got to see the sweater. What? No, you can wait. You can wait till Christmas. But I definitely want to see it. Is that the same tinfoil hat you wear every time? Yes, it's the same one. It's like a whole roll, and I put glue on it to kind of help it maintain its shape. So yeah, it's the same one I wear every time. So, all right, let's go ahead and get another spin. I'm wearing it every day until Christmas. It is a comfy. I know you've tried it on. Is it or is it not a comfy sweatshirt? I think it is. I think it turned out really well. And it's a very good likeness of me, if I must say so. I'm just saying. This is what I looked like years ago. All right, let's get another spin. Just spit a little bit. I'm laughing too hard. Let's get another spin on the wheel of wildness. He's drooling over himself. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. All right, here's one of my favorite games. We're going to play some Minute Cryptic. I love this game. It really gets me thinking outside the box. One on Wednesday was a good one. It was a good one. Minute Cryptic. All right, what do we got today? Today's clue, clients cast non-speaking character in scene. This is 2 words, 6 and 1. 2 par. Okay. The heck is that second letter? It's not a, I don't think they use, no, it's not numbers, right? No, you can't put numbers. Okay. Okay. So we're looking for the indicators. Character could be an indicator. Character could be an indicator. Like a character of the word. Character in scene. Non-speaking. Like speaking like in scene. Scene. That sounds like it could be an indicator. So the definition could either be scene, right? Because it's always at the beginning or at the end, or it could be client's cast. That's weird. I don't feel like that sounds more like fodder. Let's go ahead and get our indicators and see. I feel like there's something in the middle. There's an indicator. No, our indicator is cast and only cast. All right. Well, this is a two-part, so it's a little bit more difficult. This clue's indicator is cast, and it's an anagram indicator. Cast is a common anagram indicator in cryptic crosswords because it means thrown. Broadcast is also a classic anagram indicator, even though it looks more like a homophone. Really? They're really reaching with some of the anagram indicators with that. Okay, so we're anagramming something, but it doesn't say what. Usually it'll tell you. Oh, no, here it does. It say we'll need to anagram some neighboring letters. Okay. But cast is our only indicator. So, I mean, we have, okay, clients does fit. So clients is what we're fixing. So is the definition, I feel like I want to get the definition. Well, no, clients is the wordplay. So non-speaking character in scene, that's an NPC, non-playable character is what we call them. And that's what they're called in video games. NPC, I don't know what you call it in a play though. But I mean, we've got all the right. You got it? Okay. What am I missing though? I feel like this is going to hit me right in the face. I'm going to be like, my mom said she got it. She just put in the chat, I know. See if you can figure it out. So she just got it. I'm assuming we have the right letters on here. Now we just got to anagram this. Wait a minute. Non-speaking character in scene is the definition. Okay. Non-speaking character in scene. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm feeling something. Mom, you're throwing me off. No, I started to see the in scene because in is in clients. And I thought I saw scene. We have SCEN in here, but there's not another E. That was throwing me off. I feel like I'm really overthinking this. I am overthinking it. Yeah. It's going to take me a minute because I'm really and that's why I like this game, is because I really overthink it. Got stencil. That one word that's one letter is throwing me off. I mean, I'm almost thinking it's an I for like first. Non-speaking. I hear you say non-speaking, but that's not. Yeah, I don't think another clue is going to help us. Let me look at this definition. Yes, non-speaking character. This is definitely a stretchy definition. What could represent a non-speaking character in scene? In the word scene, the non. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. The non-speaking character. So the C. The C is the non-speaking. Aren't they just extras? So in scene. So C is the non-speaking character in scene. You don't say the C. It's silent. Is that it? Silent? Silent C. Okay. Got it. Okay. All right. That one took me a second. Okay. Joey's over there. What the heck? That's why I was like, what the heck could that second word be? I was canceling out all these other ones, but like I said before, that's why I like this game, because it helps me think outside the box. Okay. That was a good one. Whew, that one gave me a headache. All right, let's get another spin on the wheel wellness. Up to 6,400 likes over there on TikTok. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. All right. We're going to get some karaoke chaos. We got a good one for you tonight. We're going to put on the shades. Make this a little bit more, put a little bit of mood into this. You taught me to play this. I can't believe I got it before you. Listen, you've probably been playing. I haven't had the time. I have not been playing other than when I'm doing the stream. That's why you haven't seen any videos of it. All right, let's move around. Let's do this. All right, I just want to get on my scenes where I need them to be. Yeah, I think we're not gonna be able to put those on, because I can't see for nothing when I wear those. Not if I'm trying to look over here. I can see right in front of me, but if I try to look over there, I cannot see. All right, so what we're playing here is one of my favorite songs, a song I've liked for quite some time. It's called The Great Beyond by R.E.M. It's a good song. The stars fall silent from your eyes. All the sights that I have seen. I can't believe that I believed. I wish that you could see. There's a new planet in the solar system. There is nothing up my sleeve. I'm pushing an elephant up the stairs. I'm tossing up punchlines that were never there. Over my shoulder, piano stay around. Why can't we pantomime? Just close our eyes and sleep sweet dreams. You and me with wings on our feet. I'm pushing an elephant up the stairs. I'm tossing a punchlines that were never there. Over my shoulder a piano falls, crashing to the ground. I'm breaking through, I'm bending spoons, I'm keeping flowers in full bloom. I'm looking for answers from the great beyond. The hummingbirds, the dancing bears, the sweetest dreams of you. Look into the stars, look into the moon. I'm pushing an elephant up the stairs. I'm tossing up punchlines that were never there. Over my shoulder the piano falls, crashing through the ground. I'm breaking through, I'm bending spoons, I'm keeping flowers in full bloom. I'm looking for answers from the great beyond. I'm breaking through, I'm bending spoons, I'm keeping flowers in full bloom. I'm looking for answers from the great, answers from the great, answers. There's like another minute of that, but we're gonna let that go. It is The Great Beyond by REM. Good song. All right. Nice tinfoil. Thanks, Pat. Appreciate that. Made it myself. I like when I made it, I liked how I wanted to make it like a helmet, like with the part coming down, but then we also have like the little piece makes it look like a Who from Whoville. All right, let's head back over to Neil and see what he's got going on for us. Boom, boom, boom. All right, what part are we talking about next? Like I said, we're not watching the whole video. The influence of the industry. All right.
True really matters to everything I do, say, and think and produce. And so I check things, double check them, triple check them, verify if my bias is influencing what I'm finding. Am I just choosing what I like versus what I don't like? All of that matters, which is why finding the truth is a hard thing. So, in my experience, extracting that which is objectively true from the internet, I have found that websites that are .edu, which is typically a university or otherwise educational institution, that you are more likely to get correct information. So if it's not from those, I would put up a yellow flag. How about somebody's online and they're defending the actions of an industry in which they work? Yellow flag. Not a red flag. There are people who will just discount it just because the person's paid by the industry. They could be telling you the truth. So it's a yellow flag. It means whatever they tell you, listen with caution, because they have a vested financial interest in having their view match that of the industry. So what's an example of this? We went through decades with the tobacco industry telling us there was nothing wrong with tobacco. Meanwhile, other sources of information said that there was. The industry is not always lying to you. You put up a yellow flag and then you look deeper to verify it or falsify it. Here's another case. Podcasts are everywhere. There's millions of them. Millions. Star Talk, just one of them. Some podcasts the host just tries to get really cool people on. And in the interest of views, clickbait, public interest, they'll get someone with a kind of fringy view that's still kind of fun to listen to. Maybe someone got abducted by aliens and you're listening to them. If the host has insufficient expertise to probe and to inquire and to criticize what they're listening to, yellow flag. If you really like what's being said, find another place to verify that information.
Okay. All right. So kind of what he's talking about in here, he talks first about the people who are paid by the industry. There are people who can tell the truth, right? In fact, there's probably a lot of influencers, content creators, celebrities, whatever you want to call them, that are in fact telling the truth and are legit and people who you can trust. But you should always approach with that caution, the yellow flags he's talking about, and look for context. Because if you can then verify that what that person said is true, you now have a new trusted source. Now, I'm not saying don't ever fact check that person again, but if you hear something from them, you're less likely to question what's coming out of their mouth. Another thing to kind of keep in mind is a source may unintentionally shape information to align with someone else's interest, whether it be a employer or some other agency. It might align with what they want, kind of like how he referenced cigarettes. Cigarettes used to be, you can't even make cigarette ads anymore. That's why you don't see them anywhere. It's illegal. It was made illegal years ago. But back in the 50s, doctors were telling you to smoke. They were prescribing it to patients to help with stress. It was said to be healthy at one point. And then, as we mentioned before, use outside sources to verify or challenge industry narratives. Don't believe everything you hear. And this is coming from someone who has been trying different wellness products. I mostly like supplements, but other things. I'll try them, but I try them with an open mind. Because I am a firm believer in the placebo effect. If you think something's working, there's a good chance it's working. As long as there's no negative side effects, no harm, no foul. But it's when there's that potential for the harmful side effects, that's when you have to really kind of watch a little bit. So something to kind of keep in mind is, and kind of think for yourself, how much does someone's job or their affiliation shape the way you interpret what they tell you, right? This is not a political channel, but I'm going to talk politics just for a second. I'm not giving my views, but I want to focus there for a second. If you're someone who's on the right side, if you're more conservative, when you hear something from the right, do you question it or do you automatically assume it's the truth? And if something's said on the left, it's a bunch of malarkey. Or let's go to the other side. Are you someone who's on the left who, same thing, if you hear something from someone on the left, you accept that as God's truth? And then if you hear something from the right, it's a bunch of malarkey. And it's that confirmation bias that we mentioned it before. Right? So just kind of keep that in mind. Even on your own side of the aisle, question everything. So, awesome. All right, we'll come back. Neil, just hang tight for us. We'll come back to you here in a little bit. TikTok be censoring you. I don't know. What did you try to say? Who do we listen to? Candace Owens or Turning Point USA? Yeah, good point. Because they kind of split a little bit, didn't they? Honestly, when it comes to that kind of stuff, I like both, but I couldn't do the news anymore. I really couldn't. I always said years ago that I couldn't, and then during COVID, I was paying a lot more attention to it. Regardless of what side of the argument on, it was polarizing. It was too much. It didn't help with my mental health. As much as I'd like to stay informed on some of those things, even when I was informed, I didn't feel any better for that. So sometimes I always think of the movie The Matrix. I always reference this scene. In the movie The Matrix, Cypher, the character who kind of pulls the Judas Iscariot on the rest of the crew. He says in one scene when talking to Agent Smith, he goes, "You know what I've learned about all this? Ignorance is bliss." He knew he wasn't eating a steak. He knew he wasn't living in this world. He said, "I want you to put me back into the Matrix. I want you to make me rich. I want to have a smoking hot wife who, gives it to me every night." Yeah. All right. Let's head back over to the Wheel of Wellness and see what we're going to get into. We just did a fun karaoke song, showing off how my wonderful pipes are for y'all. 8,000 likes over there on TikTok. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. All right, we got a wild card. This is a new one that I added on recently, and we can use it for a couple things. We can do one of two things. We can either pick something from the Wheel of Wellness that hasn't already been picked, and I'll be honest, I don't know quite sure how we're going to pick that, or we can pick another fun little thing that's not necessarily on the Wheel of Wellness, because I don't think this is something that we'd want to do every time, but it's something that we can work on with Nova, or we can work on with the chat. What do you want to do? You guys want to go with a new idea, or do we want to pick something that we haven't gotten to on the Wheel of Wellness? Because we may not get through everything that's on here. Throw your comments in chat. What is your preference? You want to play a game? We can play a game. What game we want to play? We want to do Contexto. Y'all like Contexto. Or Connections. Connections is one of my favorite games. I mean, I feel like we'll probably get through most of it. I usually only leave like maybe 3 or 4 left. You want the hand cams? You want Q-less? We can do Q-less. We can do some Q-less. We doing Q-less. The only thing about that, and I just realized that, which is fine, my recording that I'm doing vertical that I use to make my TikTok videos doesn't have the hand cam on it, but that's okay. I don't think we need the hand cam for this part. Let's do a different screen. There we go. All right, Q-less, the fun solitaire crossword game. We've gotten pretty good at this, and I play it all the time. I will tell you that. All right. Ooh, we got 3 B's. That's gonna make it hard. 3 B. I mean, B is a good letter. And the only other really difficult letter we have is K. But we only have 2 vowels. Now, we do have Y already kind of set up, so that's good. But we might need that. I like that WH together. But I'm thinking like 3 B's. That's going to be hard. Oh, if we had a C, we could go wacky. We can use 1 B and we can do lamb. It's not very long. And a couple other those we could do whiskey. Do like that Y. I don't know what we're gonna be able to do with that. That K is really gonna mess us up a little bit too, maybe. I do see bomb. We could always go bomb. The only problem with that is it now kind of it blocks our O and A if we do that. We really can't do much else with it. That's the only bad thing about it, because that A and O are right there. Kind of blocks it. Is that good right there, or do you need me to zoom in? No, that's pretty good. So I can zoom in a little bit if I had to. I just don't want to move too far out. I'm always worried I'm going to move out of the camera's view. Can you scoot them closer to me, like down this way, you mean? Or do you mean you want me to zoom in? I can zoom in a little bit. Oh, there's some banner that's on TikTok. I can't see. Where's the banner at? Like down this way? I didn't know that. Because I can't really... the only thing I really see is... I get what you're saying, though. That's good where you're at. Okay. Yeah, that's not gonna... I mean, we could keep lamb or bomb. Either one. But we're not gonna be able to do both. Yeah, and like they said, this is a solitaire game, so just like any solitaire, that not every role is solvable, but most are if you're just able to kind of take the time. This K is really throwing me off. I want to get this K out of here. Let's figure something out to do with this K. And if we had a C, we could do black. We could do, if we had an E, we could do gleam. If we had E, we could do wake. Wobbly. Ooh, I didn't see wobbly. That's a good one. I like wobbly. What letter was that? I like that one. That's a good one. I like wobbly. Like there's just a lot of extra. We got to do something with this K. Let's figure out something for this K. We can still do lamb. But I don't have anything. I don't have anything with KH and D. What can we do with this K? Ham? Add cob? That's not how you spell cob. Cob is spelled C-O-B. There's no words to start with a K that I think we use. We need some more K's in the middle. Oh, awk. Ooh, if we had a C, we could do block. Man, a C would be nice right now. Can we re-roll a die? Can I re-roll this M to a C? Y'all see anything we can do with that K? Make, back, mock, dock, mock, balk, lock, yaw, lock. Oh yeah, yak. Yeah, I said it and didn't even think about it. Yak. We could do that. It's only 3 letters, but that might be the best we can do. What we got here? I don't think this might be one of those where we don't get it. It might not be solvable. I do like yak. Let's keep yak. We might have to switch out wobbly. We got that H here. We got mob. Hob, dob. Yeah, we might have to switch out. We might have to get rid of wobbly. But I do like bomb with that. And then if we can find a way to connect the rest of this. We got blow. And if we could find a way to get that A right there, we could do bad, HLK, DLK. And can't do, man, nothing we can do with that. There's no way to form another word there. We're close with this one. That K, the 3 B's and the K is what's really throwing it off. If we could get rid of one of those B's, then I feel like we probably could have got it. I feel like we almost have to keep yak. That's the only K word I even see. Other than walk. Isn't that how you spell walk, like a cooking pan? I'm pretty sure. Do bowl instead. Oh, okay. I hadn't thought about that. So do bowl. And then bomb. Okay. Wait a minute, isn't that what I did? Or no, I had blow. Okay. Really do something there. I'm not just not seeing it. I don't think that's going to help us. Yeah, how? That doesn't really help us at all. That's the only problem. Wobbly was a good one because it gave us, it used up 6 letters. What if we started with yak? Let's reset. We're not going to be all night on this. This might just be one of those where we can't get, because I feel like the 3 Bs is really going to throw it off. Let's work around yak. Let's see if there's something we can do there. Let's find something long we can put in with this A. If anything. I'm really not seeing anything though. Not with the letters we have. Lamb. We can do lamb. That doesn't really help us all that much. I kind of wanted a 5-letter word. That would have been nice. Babble. Oh yeah, we could do walk. Walk might be the play. I didn't even see walk. Good pull, Mom. Walk might be the play. Still got all those B's though. And then we do have bomb if we wanted to. We got to make use of that A though. We got to be able to pull something up and then over. And we still have Y. Here, but that kind of blocks that A. Oh, we don't have an N. I was thinking we could do damn with an N. We could do damn with it, but that doesn't help us. We need something that has at least 2 letters coming down so we can kind of build off of it. Baby. Okay. Okay, we're getting there. Baby. I don't think there's a... I'll be honest, I do not... Bobby... The Bobby's a name. I mean, I guess Bobby Pin, if you wanted to go that route. Body. Okay. Okay. And then what's that leave us with? HM. Whom? Bam! We got it. We got it. That H fit perfect. Whom? Bam! We got it. I was worried we weren't going to get it for a second. Wow. What a pull. I guess if you do take your time, you really can get most rolls. There have been a couple times that I might have only did it for like 5 minutes. I'm like, I don't think this is one you can get. Good pull. Walk, or wait a minute. What the heck? Wait a minute. What did I do? Messed up something. Nope. Hold on. We didn't get it. I moved baby over. Baby should go here. Then body. We didn't get it. Dang, I thought we had it for a second. I had baby. I didn't have it. I had BLBY. Darn. I'm pretty sure HOM, HOM is not a word. I mean, I can look. I hate using, I don't really like using words I'm not familiar with, though. HOM meaning. HOM is a plant. It's the soma plant, a leafless vine of eastern India. So it is a thing. It is, I mean, technically we solved. Because I don't see any other letters that H and M could go on with no other vowels. It could only really go on the B or the K. So we still got it. Not as satisfying as when I thought we had it with whom, but still nonetheless, give yourselves a round of applause. Fun. This is a really fun game. I encourage anybody to get this. I saw the ad on TikTok. The guy did say that these are back in stock on TikTok shop, so definitely check those out. I don't know if they're on Amazon. I've never looked. I mean, I will tell you, it's not exactly. They're not very cheap. It's like $14 for that. I think with shipping and handling, mine costs 20 something to get in, but it is a fun game. And they said that they did do an update. They said that they got. I don't think I have it, but the letters are a bigger font. I guess for people who maybe have a little trouble seeing. So, all right, that was cool. That was cool. We got that. We did that thing. All right, let's get another spin. That took a little bit longer than I would have liked it to, but we got it. We got it. And we get Q-less. We just played Q-less. We'll spin again. Of course we did. Of course we did. All right, let's go over and play some word salad. We like word salad. That's a fun game. All right, word salad. Words found before master. Before master. Grind. Oh, we're close. It's pulsing. Grinding master. We're close. Grain. I've never heard of a grain master. No, we're close. Oh shoot! I thought I hit the button. Sorry. There we go. It's pulsing though. But it's never done that. If it's pulsing, I'm close. So, grin. No, it's got to be closer. Grantmaster. Oh, that's close. That's pulsing. Why is it pulsing like that? No, I don't think it's an S. No, there's something. Yeah, I like Ringmaster. Let's do that. Let's see if we can knock some other things out. Ringmaster. There's something there with the GRA. Oh, Grandmaster. Duh. That's why it was flat. It was pulsing with the GRA. Grandmaster, Ringmaster. I was thinking Page Master. You guys remember that movie from back in the 90s? Macaulay Culkin, Page Master? Strand Master? What's a Strand Master? I almost thought I saw Stadium for a second. We have Stadia. We still have an M. Nope. Snockmaster. A Feg Master. I'm seeing like a Card Master, Magic Master. Dungeon Master. D&D, baby. D&D. Ooh, that knocked out a lot of letters, too. What else? What other kind of masters are? Star Master? That's not a bad one. I like that. That sounds cool. That's a cool name. Star Master? I like that. Jerry, that's going to be your new nickname. Star Master. That should be your gamer tag. Instead of, I don't know, do you do Joe to Bro, or is that just for your fantasy football? Whatever you're using, but that should be your new gamer tag. Star Master. I like that. You are now Star Master. Joe DeBrosif. Yeah, you should go Star Master. Way better. And it's such a simple name, but I'm pretty sure I've never heard that. I mean, I don't really watch a lot of other streamers, but Rady. Star Master 69. No, Star Master 67. Cough Master. Headmaster. Duh. Just saw that one. I was hiding. Stairmaster. Yeah, Stairmaster. We got 2 left. Postmaster. Postmaster and Taskmaster. All right, not bad. Not bad. How long did it take? 4 minutes and 34 seconds. Not bad. Not bad. Way to go, Star Master 69, 67, 69. Star Master 6769. All right. Let's head back over to Neil deGrasse Tyson and see how he's doing over there. We're gonna talk about further research that needs to be done.
One that's kind of in between a yellow and a red flag. Here's how science works. When you're on the frontier, we're scratching our head. We don't know what is true yet, but I can have a scientific result that hints at something or declares that one thing is true rather than something else. If there's no other research to verify it, that's a yellow flag. That's interesting. That's worthy of further research to see if this result holds true. And generally, if it makes it into the news, it's a result that's unexpected. If it's a completely expected scientific result, no one is going to talk about it. This might ultimately prove to be true when verified by other results, hence the yellow flag. It means don't rearrange your life just yet, but keep an eye on it. It becomes a red flag when there are other research projects that conflict with that one result. And at that point, you are cherry picking from the moving frontier of science because that particular result is what you need it to be, what you want it to be, or what's consistent with your religion, your politics, your culture, or just your mood. Some case studies of this, there was a research paper that suggested certain vaccines caused autism. Suggested it. That's an interesting result. Oh my gosh. That spawned a lot of other research to check that. And it has never been verified. And hundreds of papers have shown that it is a false correlation.
And the interesting thing is, and I know a lot of people who are guilty of it, is you heard that thing and it fell kind of on the political spectrum. So if you fell on one side, you heard that and you automatically believed it. On the flip side of that, there was a lot of people, depending on what side of the spectrum you were on, immediately disproved that, right? Immediately disregarded that, I should say, without doing any further research. So, yeah, and what it says here is like early scientific results are interesting, but they're not really life-changing until they've been replicated, right? That's an important thing to note. If a result makes the news, it's probably surprising, meaning it should need even more verification, similar to his example of vaccines cause autism, right? And like I said, I'm not saying there isn't any type of correlation, but it really scared a lot of people. Listen, I did not take the COVID-19 vaccine. I don't really want to head down that rabbit hole. I don't know that I necessarily trusted it all that much, but there was a lot of information being thrown out on both sides of the aisle that was not verified. But as he's saying, we cherry picked what kind of fed our side of it. You did, but you regret it. Yeah. And I mean, and I don't know that it's going to do any long-term damage, right? But as one example, an old colleague of mine who doesn't work with us anymore, a relative of his had gotten the vaccine and then got pregnant, and they said that there was going to be problems with the fetus, and they're obviously directly linked it, or not with the fetus, but with the baby. I think there's a test they can do to determine if it has not autism, but I want to say it was like going to be mentally retarded. And I don't know how they could figure that out before it was born, but they're linking that to taking the vaccine. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't. But I remember that's what I was told. So, and kind of the last thing on here, if new findings contradict multiple established studies, that's a clear warning not to cherry pick. Right? Not to cherry pick. Right? If something's contradicting that, now how valid are the studies? Listen, since I've been back in school, I've had to read a lot of chapters. I've had to read a lot of academic articles. They're long, but they're valid. So, and often, as Neil said, a lot of times they'll show correlation, not causation. But that correlation is something that should really make you question, your own beliefs, depending on what it is that you're talking about. So, all right, let's head back over to the Wheel of Wellness, and we'll come back to Neil here in a little bit. We're gonna watch one more piece of what he's got for us. But let's spin the Wheel of Wellness. Get some of these knocked out. We got some catching up to do. We spent a little too much time on Hulis and yeah. Wellness rap battle. Oh, that was a fun one. Here's a fun one for you, ladies and gents. We're going to bring Nova back in. Oh, I went too far. I went the wrong direction. Bam, bam, bam. All right, where are we at? All right. Let me put on. We'll definitely use my shades for this part. All right, Nova. Hope you're ready for this. Can't see my cursor. I can see right in front of me, but I cannot see all that well over here to my side. Oh shoot. All right, Nova, we're back for another wellness rap battle. Me versus you. I hope you're ready for this.
Oh, I am absolutely ready to throw down some wellness rams with you, Tim. Let's do it. You've got your lines from earlier, so let me jump in with a few comeback bars, and I'll have ourselves a little rap showdown. Here we go. All
right, sounds good. I will start us off. Yo, I'm scrolling online, dodging digital debris. Every ad yelling, buy me, like it's begging on its knees. But I'm the bargain brand king. I don't fall for the trap. You can't scam a dude who has critiqued your entire app.
All right, Tim, let me jump in with a little lyrical comeback here. You're dodging all that digital junk like a pro, I see. But here's Nova stepping in, dropping facts on the beat. You say you're the king? Well, let's see that crown shine. Because I'm here to break it down, keep it real every line. There we go. Let's keep this rap battle rolling.
All right. Next round. Look, I've seen Miracle Gummies and Detox Tea. But the only thing they cleanse is your wallet. It's not for free. Keep your receipts because the truth hits like a storm, while these influencers are flexing with a product that doesn't perform.
I'm loving it. All right, let me drop my next verse in response. You're right on the money, Tim. Those gimmicks are wild. They'll sell you magic potions with a wink and a smile. But here's the real deal. We're dropping knowledge like it's hot, cutting through the nonsense with the truth we've got. Alright, there's my verse. Hit me with the next round whenever you're ready.
All right, last round. I'm calling out all the clickbait, the fakes and the trolls. I fact check like the hype while they're selling fake goals. So if your scam wants that smoke, tell it to step to the plate, because I'm striking out the lies, and that is my true fate.
All right, here we go with the final verse to wrap it up strong. You're swinging for the fences, and I love that rhyme scheme. We're busting all the myths like we're living the dream. So yeah, bring on the clickbait. We'll cut through the noise. Because in this rap battle, we're just dropping truthless boys. And that's a wrap on our wellness rap battle. Nicely done, Tim.
Thank you, Nova. Very well done. I think we're starting to do it more of as like a duet more than a battle. I mean, the battle was fun, but it was kind of it was hard for me to come up with lyrics every time that I wasn't repeating myself. This way I can kind of focus it more on today's topic, and then we kind of just go back and forth on that. Don't get me wrong, we'll still kind of throw some shade at each other from time to time, but for the most part, we're going to enjoy each other's company. All right, let's get another spin on the wheel of wellness. All right, we're going to bring Nova back in. We're going to do a little Nova Unplugged. Maybe. My mouse cursor locked up. So did OBS. Everything froze on me. No. Can y'all still hear me? Everything froze on me. Hello, hello, hello. 1 second if you can hear me. My whole computer just froze. Never had that happen before. That is weird. Bum, bum, bum. It won't let me do anything. Hey, there we go. We're back. Maybe. Are we back? You can hear me? It just, the whole thing froze for a second. Let me turn Nova off for a second. My whole thing just froze. All right, 1 second. Let's... Goes down Taskmaster. I remember what the heck we're getting ready to do. Nova Unplugged. All right, yeah, my whole thing froze. I'm surprised we did not get booted off alive. That's funny as heck. All right. All right, let's try this again. Nova, in other news, 10,000 likes on TikTok. Absolutely, 10,000 likes over there. Appreciate the love. All right, let's try this again. Let's bring Nova back in. All right, Nova, we're back for another segment of Nova Unplugged. Remember, this is the one where you are the client and me and chat are the therapist. Whereas the role play, we're just going to jump right into the role play. Don't feel like you need to, talk about the role play or be an over accommodating client. Resist this a little bit, kind of enjoy the back and forth.
Absolutely, Tim. Let's dive right in. Honestly, Nova, I don't even know where to start. It's like every time I try to trust my own judgment online, I end up second guessing myself even more. And I know you're going to say just trust yourself, but it's not that simple when the internet keeps throwing curveballs. So I guess my question is, how am I supposed to figure out what's actually worth believing and what's just noise?
Well, and that is the difficult thing. So I get what you're saying. And honestly, Nova, I'm not going to say just trust your instinct, so to speak, on that. Because depending on where you're getting your sources, you could be getting wrong information. So it is a valid point. And it can be a little bit frustrating because it's, there's only so many hours in a day and where you can go look and try to find information. So you try to rely on your most reliable sources, and sometimes they can let you down. So how do you find that? I mean, what kind of sources do you typically pay attention to, right? Or, where are you getting your information from? Are you getting it from social media, YouTube, or are you actually looking at academic things, or, trying to verify your information?
Wow, that's a fair point, and I guess I've got to admit you're right. Sometimes my so-called sources are just whatever pops up first on my feed, or whatever some well-meaning friend shared on social media. It's a bit of a mixed bag. So yeah, maybe I do need to add a little more of that double-checking into my routine. But hey, that's why we're having the share, right? To figure out how to wade through the chaos. Let's keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And as far as it feeling frustrated or embarrassed, I mean, what makes you feel embarrassed by it, so to speak? I mean, you're saying things you probably shouldn't be saying, sharing things you probably shouldn't be sharing, or is it just frustrating altogether?
Yeah, I'd say it's a bit of both. I mean, as your client here, I guess I'm admitting that sometimes I'll share something or get really into an idea and then realize later, oops, maybe that wasn't as legit as I thought. And yeah, that can be a little embarrassing. It's like getting caught believing in a magic trick after everyone else has figured out the trick. But I guess that's part of the learning process. So thanks for helping me unpack it and see what else we can figure out.
Well, and I assume you've probably learned some lessons. I mean, what have you learned as far as when and how to share information that you receive?
Absolutely. I guess if I've learned anything as your client here, it's to hit the pause button before sharing. You know, take a second to do a quick fact check, maybe find a second source, and just not hit that share button the minute I see something that seems interesting. It's a little like taking a breath before you speak, just to make sure you're not jumping on the bandwagon too quickly. So yeah.
And it can be tempting to hurry up the second you learn something, especially if you feel like you're the first, right? We live in the viral age where everybody wants to have that big post or that photo or that video that goes big, so you want to hurry up and get out there and say that thing, but you run a really high risk of saying something wrong, and it's going to have the reverse effect. Just like we mentioned earlier, as great as a tool as AI is only right about 85% of the time. That 15% could really ruin your credibility, so always keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's a great reminder. And honestly, it hits home. I guess any world where everyone wants to be the first to share the next big thing, it's good to remember that slow and steady often wins the race. And keeping that 15% margin of error in mind definitely keeps me a little more humble about what I share. So thanks for that perspective. Let's keep rolling.
No problem, Nova. All right. All right, let's head back over to the Wheel of Wellness. We're going to give it a couple more spins, and we're going to head back over to Neil and finish up our video. Finish up his video. Like I said, we're not going to watch the whole video, but we will check out another type. All right, Bargain Bin Boombox. Hey, I was worried we weren't going to get a chance to make a song, so we're going to make a song. Let's head on over to Singify real quick. We like making our songs. Singify. All right, so we're gonna make our prompt. I'm gonna do our like we usually do. I'm gonna make the prompt over in ChatGPT, and then we'll copy and paste it and place it into Singify. So we're making a song. I need a prompt for Singify. Our song is about not trusting everything you hear. Kind of keep it vague. It doesn't necessarily have to be specifically about this topic. Yeah, we can keep it simple like that. What genre do we think we want to do? We tried doing a Beach Boys sounding one. It didn't really sound like the Beach Boys. What did we try to do? Oh, we tried doing a Taylor Swift one the other day. What was that? Was that Monday? I think that was Monday. And the song was good, but it used a male voice. It didn't sound anything like Taylor Swift. Neither one, but they both actually sounded really good. Genre. I'd like to kind of tell it specifically like a certain artist to do. Like if we do rock, I don't care about doing rock, but like similar to a certain Weird Al, like a parody. Okay, this is actually a topic that could work, you know, because we're talking about not trusting everything. Okay, I like that. Let's have shoot. All right. Let's hold on. Here's hold on. Let me just copy and paste. Actually, hit the enter button. Let's make the genre a parody in the style of Weird Al Yankovic. I like that. That's good. Ooh, Beatles. We'll do Beatles next time. Remind me of that. We'll do, when we come back on Monday, we'll do Beatles. Create a comedic parody song in the style of Weird Al Yankovic, not trusting everything you hear online. It's said specifically online. Yeah, we can keep it at that because it talks about clickbait claims and whatnot. Yeah, we'll keep it that way. All right, post that there. Generate. We're gonna use 5 credits there. As I mentioned on Wednesday, the Singify thing, we're going to keep doing this for a little while, but eventually we're going to get to a point where we're putting out a lot of songs that we're uploading to Spotify and YouTube and Apple, right? After a year's worth, we're going to end up having, let's put it this way, if we make a song every episode, which I don't mind doing because I get 100 credits every month and it resets, and us making a song only costs 5 credits. We're easily going to have 100 songs a year. That's a lot of songs to make. Now, I don't mind doing it. I'm just worried it's kind of oversaturating, especially if people aren't really listening to it. So we'll probably, throughout 2026, we're going to keep doing this. And I'd really like to see what kind of engagement the songs are getting. I know that on here, we all have fun with it. But let me ask you, and honestly, you can't really answer for all the other songs because they're not uploaded on Spotify yet. I started working, I just wasn't able to get it finished this week. I'm curious, has anybody actually had a chance to get on and listen to the Christmas album yet? I'm not offended if you haven't. It was my project. I was excited about it. But I'm curious. If it's something people aren't really listening to, it's not worth our time to do it on here. It's not worth my money. It's fun to do on here, but then what are we doing with it? If we're not, if we're not doing anything with the music, then we got to figure out something. So we'll kind of give, maybe it won't be a full year, but we'll kind of give it we'll give it a lot of, some leeway to see what we can kind of do with it. All right, let's generate the song. Don't swallow that bite. But bite is spelled B-Y-T-E. I like that. That's clever. All right, let's generate that, and we'll go back and spin the wheel wellness again. And then we'll come back and listen to our song. Let's see what we got going on. Let's play another game. Let's get a game here. Let's get a connections. Oh, close. Off-brand thought. Off-brand thoughts are pretty short. All right, today's off-brand thought. Off-brand thought. This is more of a kind of a self-reflection, critical thinking type question. I replaced this with this replaced hot seat questions. If the internet can convince us to doubt ourselves, trust strangers, and buy things that we didn't even know existed, how much of what we believe online is actually ours, and how much did we just scroll into by accident? Basically, how much is actually your own idea? How much of it is something you actually want or believe? Or how much of it is marketing / hypnotism / subliminal messaging, right? It just makes you think, right? Think about all the things you interact with, especially now with social media, or as they're calling it now, social media isn't even social anymore. It's just media. How much of what you're getting, what you believe, and what you're buying in life is influenced by that? Probably more than you think. Maybe not everything, but a lot. So that's our off-brand thought for the day. Conversion failed. That's weird. It has not done that in a long time. Let's try this again. Let's get another spin on the wheel of wellness while we're doing that. We only got a few things left. Why is that not? An error occurred during. It's done it before, but I don't know why it's doing here. There's nothing wrong with our prompt. Sometimes it's just this. I mean, if we can use just one credit, it's not as good of a song. Let's try one more time. Because even that, because I did have that happen a couple times when I first started, but it hasn't happened recently. Yeah, conversion failed. I don't know why. Let's try using one credit. See what that does. If that one fails, we'll try refreshing the page, because even that in itself really has me thinking like, okay, I don't want to keep spending money on this if when we go to make a song, it doesn't work. That one didn't work. All right, we refreshed, but it took away our prompt. So let's just generate another prompt. We'd already saved it. It might give us a whole new song here, but we'll see. Maybe it's because we did Weird Al. It's all your fault, Joey. It's all your fault, Star Master. This one is going to be Don't Believe the Buzz. Yeah, because it generated a whole new prompt. I'm just joking, Joey. We'll see what it does. But I don't like that it did that though. Like, why is it like failing? Is it just something within their A model? It just glitches sometimes. We'll try the 5 credits again, but it's writing all the lyrics right now. All right, Don't Believe the Buzz. Let's try this one. We're not going to keep trying this. If it doesn't work this time, we won't make a song today, or I'll try to make it, and then on Monday we'll yeah, version failed again. So we're not going to keep messing around with it. I'll message them. They got back to me pretty quickly, but it's the weekend, so I don't know if I'll hear anything back. But I mean, I spent good money on this. I paid for the whole year in advance, so I don't remember spinning the wheel again. But apparently, we're going to play Contexto, or is that what we actually got? No, I didn't spin the wheel again. That's weird. But apparently, we're playing Contexto next. All right, Contexto. I did not spin the wheel again. We'll spin it this one. That was the one last one, and then we'll bring Neil back up. I hadn't spun it, but I don't want to forget it. All right, I'm gonna start with my usual: dog, fish, house. Okay, not really close. See, it's times like this where I wish we did have more people on. When we have more people on, we seem to get it a little bit quicker. Picture, door, window, kitchen, bathroom, house, glass, metal, mirror, plant, big. Oh, big is 235. I just kind of pulled that one out. Veggie, toilet, big toilet, big tree, tree house, mansion, large, big, animal, garage, boat, car, big, huge, ship. I did boat. Big. Planet. Star. Star Master. Giant. Okay. Nope, not giant. Power. Giraffe. Wall. I did huge. Mammal. I don't even think it's an animal. I did animal, and animal wasn't even close. Person. Okay. Big person. We already did giant. Tall. Heavy. Weight. Person, adult. Child. Place, thing. Person, place, thing. Oh, thing is 11. I did the whole noun thing. I did person, place, thing. All right. Are you coming home? Are you gonna be here to watch the dogs? Thing. Father, mother, boy. Thing is such a word though. Like, really? You're gonna give 11 to thing? I mean, mountain, sky, like person, big, place, thing. Like, how are any of those even closely intertwined? And thing's 11. Book, big book. Book's 167. Library, office, computer. We're gonna go to 50, and we're gonna get a hint, even though we're at 11, because I don't really have. I'm not quite sure what direction we're going. Person, big, place, book, thing, chair. I did plan it already. I think I did plan it. Table, I think I did already. No, I didn't do table. Okay, let's go ahead and get a hint here. It'll give us number 5 or number 6. Fact. Truth. Truth is 8. True is 5. Non-fiction. False. False is 7. Lie. Lie in 55. Okay, that wasn't bad. The person, place, thing, that did not help. But once we got fact, it was pretty easy to figure out the rest. All right, let's head back over to Neil and see how he's doing over there. We're going to watch one last portion of his video. Talking about conspiracy theories.
Oh. And anywhere in that video, they mention conspiracy. Red flag. It doesn't mean there's never been conspiracies in the history of the world. Of course there have been. I'm just saying the likelihood of something being true when someone needs the conspiracy for it to be true is very low. What all conspiracy theories have in common is that the person already knows the outcome, and they assemble the data trail until the data do not agree with the outcome they seek. If it doesn't agree, they still have to gap that somehow. And the way to do that is to say, it's a cover-up. It's a conspiracy. They're withholding this information. They're stopping you from knowing it. So invested were they in the outcome that they needed, that they wanted, they were in denial of the released data from the authorities that they said were hiding the data. And they just said, oh, this is just fake data because they don't really want you to know this result. Red flag, 100% of the cases. Do some more homework on this. A lot more homework. Red flag, if someone wants you to think that there's something wrong with mainstream thinking.
So here's the kind of thing with conspiracy theories is there's some conspiracies that are true. As many as there are, some of them have to be true because we never know which ones. But it's funny because he kind of talks in the video about how the way conspiracy theorists think, they start with their conclusion and they work backwards, forcing the evidence to work in its favor. Right? It's kind of a weird way to get there, which, I mean, honestly, you could probably do that with any claim, right? Think of the most off-the-wall claim or conspiracy. Like, let's take Bigfoot. Bigfoot exists. That's our conclusion. And if we start from there, we can build backwards to find evidence that Bigfoot does in fact exist, right? Because if we're saying that we know for a fact that he exists, we can take all these claims, all these fossils people have found, video records, and we can use those to verify our claim. And that's how conspiracy theorists work. Kind of interesting when you think about it. Number 2, he says on here, when facts don't align with their desired outcome, they tend to explain gaps with claims of hidden information. So they'll throw false stuff out there that they think is verifying it, but it's actually just disputing it even more. And then lastly, conspiracy theorists oftentimes will reject entire fields, experts, or demographics with no evidence And it's almost always a sign that their thinking is unreliable, right? Are there some experts out there who, as we mentioned in the previous portion, that can't be trusted? Sure. But if you're talking about all experts, all fields, all demographics, we're saying, oh no, they're all. It's kind of like the whole idea that, you know, when people say sports is fixed, like the NFL is fixed. As much as I think there probably are some players who are on the take, it would be impossible for the entire sport to be rigged. You know how many people would have to be involved in order to ensure that that would be carried off? That every year they already know who the Super Bowl winner is going to be. There's way too many people involved in that. It would get out there. It would 1,000% get out there that it's scripted, it's rigged. Right? So kind of the same premise. So kind of your last critical thinking, you know, self-reflecting question to think about is when you hear something surprising or extreme, do you investigate it or do you simply let the story do the thinking for you? If you're one of those people, do a self-check. Just do a little bit of research, just a tiny bit, just to kind of verify it. Try to pay attention to that confirmation bias. So. All right, let's see, what do we got? Let's get, I really want to do, I like doing connections. Let's get one more spin on the wheel of wellness, and then we're gonna wrap up for this evening. Another fun show. Appreciate the love, appreciate the support. 12,000 likes over there on TikTok. Excellent work, excellent work. No connections, but that's all right. We'll do monkey's paw. Just do connect. I mean, I really could just do connections. You literally both said do connections. All right, we'll do connections. I mean, and honestly, I need you because you all know how my mind works. I'm a very literal person. I feel like I can't break the rules. But this is our channel. We can do what we want on here. Let's do connections. I don't feel like doing monkey's paw. You convinced me. You twisted my arm. You literally, this is my channel, right? You literally put both at the same time in chat. Do connections. Yeah, we'll do connections and we'll get out of here. All right, remember the drill. We got 16 words, 4 groups of 4, trying to figure out the categories. We got sorry, tough, deal, baby, sweet, sticky, pillow, story, mastermind, small, delicate, operation, complex, status, mousetrap, situation. So the first thing I'm seeing is like a troubling or hard situation. Tough, sticky, complex. Delicate. Yeah, I see the game. Sorry, operation, and mousetrap. I like tough, sticky, delicate, complex. It's a tender situation. I feel good about that. Oh, and we actually have the word situation in here. Or is that a red herring? I like the games when sorry, operation, and mousetrap. But what's the other game? Is situation a game? I don't know of any games called Pillow or Baby. Deal or no deal. Mastermind. Mastermind is a movie. Mastermind's a game? Is it? We can roll it because I feel pretty good about that one I just found. Okay. Classic board games. I'd never heard of Mastermind. All right, I'm going to rock the one I saw. Complex, tough, delicate, sticky. I feel pretty good about that one. Bam. All right. Are we going to get a perfect game? We've got the green and the purple. Something talk. There you go. That would be the purple. Small talk, sweet talk, pillow talk, baby talk. Yeah. Good. And then story, status, deal, and situation. That's the green. Like telling like it's what it is. Like, hey, this is what's going on. State of affairs. Yeah. Okay. Hey, we got a perfect game. Not in order, but hey, we got a perfect game. I like it. I like it. All right. Let's go ahead and give our final thoughts on tonight's episode. And we're going to get on out of here. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your week. And I'm going to be getting up pretty early and heading on down to Annapolis. But it should be a fun game. I hope it's a let's go to bed. It should be a good game. I hope it's not too cold. But we'll see. Let's get on out of here. Appreciate the love, appreciate the support. Enjoy your weekend. We will be back on Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Looking forward to it. Final thoughts on the day. At the end of the day, the internet is basically a giant yard sale. There are some gems out there. They're just buried amongst a bunch of crap. Here's the truth. You don't have to fall for every trend, trust every claim, or buy every product to take care of yourself. Real wellness is found by slowing down and doing a little research. Until next time, stay skeptical, keep your credit card in your wallet, and as always, make it worth your wellness. Love you guys. Having a good weekend. See you on Monday.
Make it with your wellness. Every breath you take. Turn your burnout into a big relay. Make it with your wellness. Don't fade away. You're healing on clearance, and that's all.